White posts a picture looking like a flower hornfish with a bump on his head. This guy's posting himself looking like an aquatic creature with a bump so huge people immediately start mentioning it. Bold move, but a risky inaccuracy for his reputation. Player 1 asks, what's the big idea? Player 1's directly addressing the elephant or fish in the room with a great move, asking about the massive bump situation everyone's thinking about. Yes, everyone, me and you included. Player 2 then asks, how tall are you? This guy, it depends. Player 2 is asking White about his height, then answering for him in a brilliant move, making a joke that White's height depends on whether you count the bump or not. Personally, if I'm this guy, I'm counting the bump. That's an extra inch for my height. I'd finally be 4'11". Player 3 finishes with, the box is thinking inside him. Player 3 reversed thinking outside the box into complete nonsense with a brilliant move that somehow works perfectly.
White posts this selfie and says, I think jobs should still hire you whether you have a felony, misdemeanor, or assault and battery charges. Clearly White is trying to spit some game about employment and criminal records, but this atrocious spelling is not doing him any favours. This is a mistake. If you're trying to spit some game, don't actually spit like White. White was clearly failed by the American education system, or he is geeked off the Yerkazets. And hey, I wouldn't mind that. Player 1 responds, English teachers sit around and tell spooky stories about bro. Crying face emoji, peace sign emoji. Player 2 is making a good move here, saying that White's spelling is so botched that teachers are going to tell horror stories about how chopped White's spelling is. And must I add that we would all be quivering at the thought of our teacher telling us this story. Absolutely devastating. Player 2 adds, for sure bro, praying emoji. Now player 2, spelling this comment wrong on purpose, is a brilliant move, truly. To understand, player 2 is using White's recessed intellect against him, writing for sure instead of for sure, to take the mick out of White's atrocious spelling. He's mirroring moves, solid defense. Player 3 finishes, the library just up the street gang, broken heart emoji, peace sign emoji. Player 3 is now dropping chords to the library, which is a great move. Because as we can see, White needs to learn to read and write. Short and sweet, telling him to go study because he might be on the tipsy side.
Next, White opens the game by posting a picture of him grieving his pet chicken Roger. This kid's sharing a genuine emotional moment about losing Roger, his beloved pet chicken, in what should be a vulnerable opening. Roger deserved better. Justice for Roger in the comments. Book move. Player 1 responds with, thug it out lil bro, you got a 9 to 5 and a family to feed. Player 1's making an inaccurate move by telling a depressed kid to toughen up over Roger's death. Dude, this kid just lost Roger and you're talking about a 9 to 5? Show some respect for Roger. Never put the J slur or anything similar next to Roger. That's just disrespectful and a huge mistake. Player 2 says, aw, boo-hoo, get your money up, not your funny up. Player 2 is mocking White for crying over Roger with a horrible blunder. This is Roger we're talking about, not just any chicken. Roger had a name, Roger is beloved in this communication. Again, rip Roger in the comments. Player 3 adds, go get motion, lil bro. Player 3 is telling a kid mourning Roger to go outside in a disrespectful blunder. Roger just died and this kid's talking about getting motion. We slide for Roger in this channel. This is unacceptable. Player 4 says, go pour some concrete. Player 4 suggesting manual labor instead of crying over Roger with a pathetic mistake. Roger deserves mourning. Roger deserves respect. Roger deserves a statue. I'm not gonna lie. Better move would have been telling this kid to pour concrete for Roger's memorial instead. Player 5 finally says, this guy really found a song and sat here and recorded himself crying, skull emoji. Enough with the disrespect. We're slamming everyone talking bad about Roger. These people never lost a pet chicken and it shows. Chickens are way better pets than cats and dogs. Outrageous move for this loser. Next, White posts a picture of himself with a beaver-looking teeth. Two big upper ones and a singular tooth at the bottom. White's confidently posting a selfie showing off his unique dental situation in a bold opening. White is brave, I'll give him that. At the very least, this is a book move. Player 1 responds, what up, twin? Player 1's calling him twin in a fitting trophy move because his profile picture has the exact same teeth situation. This man saw the beaver teeth and claimed they are twinning. This is kind of heartwarming, even though they both look like rodents. Either way, it's perfect. Player 2 just says, just build my dam, bro. Player 2 is telling him to build a dam with a brilliant move, fully committing to the platypus comparison. This man saw those teeth and immediately thought about Perry the platypus.
White posts a picture of him and his girlfriend. White, showing this photo, seems wholesome, probably expecting someone to say something nice, like, the two of you are such a good couple, complimenting both of them. Black responds, the girl is very cute and beautiful. The man is also alive. Black is now dominating, with a brilliant move, going out of their way to specifically compliment the girl, and then add that White's only good trait is being alive. Not handsome, not cute, not cool, just breathing and existing. He gets buried for being alive, just like everyone else, while she gets showered in compliments. If I were White, I wouldn't be posting any more selfies after reading something like that. Black practically said, yeah, she looks stunning, and you're also there.
Next, White opens with a picture of a yellow-skinned kid who's probably jaundiced. White's posting what appears to be a medical condition in a concerning book move, not realizing this is about to get really, really weird. This is Instagram, after all. Black responds, I want what he on. Black's making an innocent but catastrophic blunder by assuming the kid's yellow color is from some drugs, not a serious medical condition. This is about to go very wrong, or he could also be trying to be edgy, not surprised if that's the case. White clarifies with, you want liver failure? Micah was born with a rare genetic disease called mio de noche. He has end-stage liver failure waiting for transplant. White's delivering the devastating correction with a brilliant move, explaining this is a child with end-stage liver failure waiting for a transplant. Black probably didn't even expect White to respond, and now he looks like an ass for trying to joke about it. Black tries to recover with, I meant the car seat. Black's making a pathetic blunder by trying to make an excuse and claiming he's actually talking about the car seat the entire time, not the kid's condition, which is an obvious bluff. This is either the worst bluff ever, or Black genuinely didn't notice the yellow skin and was focused on the car seat. Either way, there's no winning this. Black resigns after looking like an asshole. Next, White opens with an eerily scary selfie in a semi-dark room. White's posting an unsettling photo that immediately makes everyone uncomfortable in a horrible blunder of an opening. This isn't a cute selfie, this is a jump scare, and nobody asked to see this. Player 1 responds with, the hell? Crying face emoji, crying face emoji. Player 1's reacting with genuine confusion and fear in a good move, asking what the actual hell White was thinking posting this nightmare fuel. Now, I can't go to the bathroom alone anymore. I have to wake up my friend. Player 2 says, I'm gonna scroll now. Take it easy, crying face emoji. Player 2's politely excusing themselves from this eldritch horror with a brilliant move. If you don't want this eldritch horror showing up to your room, join my Discord and help me find images, link in the description. They're leaving before this gets worse. Player 3 adds, I done got up and ran to turn a damn light on stop. Player 3 is revealing they physically got up to turn lights on because White's picture was so scary with an inevitable forced move. White's selfie was scary enough to make someone move in real life. Player 4 finishes with blood of Jesus crying face emoji. Player 4 is calling on Jesus Christ himself for protection in a brilliant move. White's picture was so demonic that someone would need spiritual intervention. They're being way too harsh on White, to be honest. I would definitely not run.
White opens with, you'll remember when I gave 1 billion to charity and saved hundreds of people from fire. White is trying to make a heroic story about himself, but made an inaccuracy, going a bit too far with his statement, as donating $1 billion and saving multiple hundreds of people from fires is just not very believable. Clearly, Lil Unk is trying to get some huzz. Unfortunately, it's looking like this method is being patched. Player 1 responds, TY Shuri X08, you saved all 8 of my cats from a fire alone. Player 1 makes a brilliant move by playing along and being a virtual wingman, thanking White, aka Shuri X08, for saving all 8 of his cats from a fire, making White's claims more believable. If everyone plays along, White could get some huzz. Player 2 adds, Shuri X08 saved me from a fire. Player 2 is joining the Wingman meat riding session with a good move, doubling the glaze with reassurance that White's claim is true. The huzz is beginning to drool for White, but we're not done yet. Player 3 says, Shuri X08, dude, thanks for letting me borrow your Dubai mansion and Lambo. Player 3 hits a triple glaze touchdown with a great move by adding a mansion and a Lambo into the mix. Now White is a hero. He donated $1 billion to charity and still has enough motion to hand out Lamborghinis and mansions. The huzz are now crawling up the walls for White. Player 4 finishes, Shuri X08. Thanks for the PS5, praying emoji, handshake emoji. Player 4 makes a claim that is realistic, to balance the other ones out. This is a brilliant move. Thanking him for a PS5, something believable, and still providing evidence that White is a luxurious hero. Remember, if you're gonna twirl on your friends so they get the huzz, make it believable, like this guy. Because no one will believe your friend got you a Rolex, unless you're me. If you guys want to see a goon sesh between me and text chess while we play chess, like this video, and subscribe to both of us. Whoop whoop.
Oh, and don't forget to go to textchess.store for goated merch. Next, White opens with all of those books and mangas are mainstream LOL. White's gatekeeping someone's manga collection in a classic pretentious opening, calling their taste mainstream like that's an insult. Acting superior about manga choices is the most neckbeard activity you can do, which is a mistake and that leads to this weak position. Black responds with, chill your balls, beta tongue out emoji. I am not gonna read my best friend's stepdad is 200 centimeters tall and takes me from behind while I eat cup noodles. Black's making an absolute sin of a deflection by telling White to calm down, then inventing the most unhinged manga title possible to mock whatever weird stuff White probably reads. White's gatekeeping immediately becomes irrelevant. Black implying White reads degenerate content while pretending to have superior taste. Everyone knows to have superior taste, you have to read I was reincarnated as a hot spring in an alternate world, and I'm way too effective. Brilliant move. Next, White opens with, aw, want me to buy you a car, bae? White's trying to impress someone with car buying money in what seems to be like a flex opening, calling them bae like they're already together. This is just cringe and a horrid opening and a miss for White. Black responds with, sheep, bro. White drops a devastating brilliant move, revealing the person White's flirting with is a minor. This immediately turns White's opening into a potential crime. A normal player here would resign immediately, but we already know what's about to happen. White panics with LALALALA with about 6 or 7 A's. I can't hear Yui with around 4 or 5 U's. White's pretending he can't hear the age reveal with a catastrophic blunder, making nonsensical sounds and claiming he can't hear shit. Brother is literally typing la 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 to avoid acknowledgement that he just hit on a child. White has this mentality out of sight, out of mind. Someone put this man on some kind of list, a danger to society. Next, White posts a Kamen Rider thirst trap video. Who even watches this type of shit? This is some weird level thirst trap video. Oh wait, after watching a couple, it's not that bad. I didn't enjoy it, guys, but it's not that bad. Book move. Player 1 responds, I literally don't know what this is, but I let him destroy my insides. Player 1's admitting they have no idea what Kamen Rider is, but immediately transforms into a gooner, just pure bricked up decision making on site. This is some next level gooner stuff, but a good move. Player 2 says, why am I getting Kamen Rider thirst traps? I'm scared. Player 2 is expressing genuine concern about their algorithm showing thirst traps of Kamen Rider, literally a forced move. They're scared, but they're still here watching, which is pretty suspicious behavior. Player 3 adds, I'm gonna the Kamen Rider sus bar, mom, don't come. Player 3 is announcing they're leaving for a Kamen Rider sus bar and warning their mom not to follow in a brilliant move that implies there's an entire establishment dedicated to questionable Kamen Rider content. Does anyone know where this is? I kind of want to go too, just to, inspect and make fun of gooners, of course, nothing else, obviously. Player 4 finishes, I need this so bad, MMFGG. Player 4 is having a full goon sesh by typing MMFGG, which kind of sounds like an esports organization. However, it sounds like they're also about to bust. What a pure horniness blunder by their own thirst. This person needs anti-gooner medicine immediately. Next, player 1 opens with, dude, tight as a drum and pretty as a sunrise. Where were you 40 years ago? Player 1's calling someone tight as a drum and asking where they were 40 years ago in a catastrophic, outrageous move, which means this person is at minimum 60 plus years old, hitting on someone young enough to not exist 4 decades ago. This is predatory behavior with extra steps, which makes it much worse somehow. Player 2 responds with, bro, WTF, get off this app, old man, skull emoji. Player 2 is calling out the age gap immediately with a brilliant move, telling the senior citizen to leave the app, direct and necessary to protect everyone included. Player 3 finishes with pedo. Player 3 is cutting through everything with a short but deadly great move, just calling it what it is with one word. No explanation needed, and this ends the conversation instantly. Next, White opens with, can I tell her an advice? Don't rush finding a man. The best man for you is the one that your dad chooses for you. So if you really want a husband, tell your dad, speak with your dad about it. Because I'm telling you right now, the man that your dad chooses for you is the best one for you. You're welcome. White's giving absolutely unsolicited advice about arranged marriage in a horrible blunder, suggesting her dad should pick her husband like it's the 1800s, and then says you're welcome at the end like it's unearned confidence for advice that nobody asked for. Black responds with, my dad choosing me a husband, laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji, 6 or 7 of them, and then skull face emoji, another 6 or 7 of them, and another 6 or 7 fist bumps. Honestly, I can't. This is a lot of emojis. Black's laughing at the entire concept with a brilliant move, using around 13 emojis to show how ridiculous the situation is. This is not the 1800s. Someone come pick up their unk. White goes on a rant with, tell me honestly, when was the last time a woman really made a good decision in her life? Never in history did women's ever make a good decision when it came to marriage with a man. It was always the fathers that chose the man for her, and all the time the father was right, choosing the perfect man for her daughter, because nowadays you womans get with whoever you free like and get pregnant with the wrong man, then cry about it and put shame at your dad's household. You womans can't never choose a good man. You always need your father to do that for you. Jesus Christ, White's having a full misogynistic meltdown and a catastrophic blunder, claiming women have never made good decision in history. He's using woman's incorrectly throughout. His argument is trash and his grammar is even worse. This guy's probably never had the touch of a woman and he turned out like this. I mean, I have also never felt a touch of a woman too, but I did it on purpose and I didn't turn out like this, right guys? White doubles down with, so basically what you are temming me, it's okay for your daughter to get pregnant by the age of 14, and it's okay that your daughter can go clubbing and get bit by multiple men, and once gets pregnant by the age of underage, she doesn't know who's the baby daddy. Be quiet. Whatever you're saying is nonsense, and your daughters will suffer the most because of your foolishness. Good luck on taking care of your underage or underage-year-old daughter with a baby and you don't know who's the father, dummy, because she been bit by the whole class. You're foolish and you got no discipline in you. White's jumping to the most extreme scenario possible in a disgusting blunder, going from women should choose their partners to your underage daughter will get bit by her whole class. This is honestly just unhinged, and he's creating the worst possible strawman argument while misspelling everything. His brain is completely cooked. He has watched way too much corn. Black hits back with, so is your mom supposed to pick out your wife? Black's flipping his logic on him with a strong, excellent move, asking if his mom should choose his wife since he thinks dads should choose husbands. This exposes the double standard instantly and will point out any hypocrisy pretty fast. White responds with, no, and you're just mad that you don't know how to pick a good man for yourself, lol, but the Bible did said and explain how to pick a woman, and our great-great-grandmothers did teach the sons who to pick a woman. Don't pick a silly woman that got no brains, but pick an upright woman that will support us and the women that will obey and submit to us men. The mother can give us an advice but can't force us, lol, and we as men can do anything we want. You women's can't, and you are bond to the men that your dad picked for you because you don't know how to pick. When was the last time when a woman pick a man and she stayed with him forever? Never, because all you women's did is lay down with this guy, and once you got into an agreement with this man, you go ahead and sleep with another man. Well, this is why you need your dad in your life. Obey your dad if... Okay, White's admitting men don't need parents, choosing for them, but women do in a catastrophic self-destruction, revealing his entire worldview is based on sexism and control. He brought up the Bible, great-grandmothers, and women that will obey and submit, while saying we as men can do anything we want. He's not even correct about the Bible, and White is still using this misogynistic defense, which is outdated by at least 100 years and was never good to begin with. This is just straight sad if he really believes everything he said and is now preaching it to everyone. What a disgusting creature and a blunder for this moron. If you enjoyed this video, please press the playlist button that pops up, rent is due, and maybe I'll share some with Robro.